Free will, guys, does it really exist? Do we really have free will? Some people may argue.
Never gonna give you up.
Welcome back, guys. Back at you again with another video, guys. What I wanted to talk about today was the concept of free will and determinism. It's a very controversial topic. I know you guys might be thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? I mean, bear with me, guys. Let me try and walk you through the process. I'm not saying I agree with any of it, and I'm not saying that, you know, I'm on either side. It's just a wicked thought process. It's just mind-boggling little idea. Determinism and free will. Most people out there believe that, yeah, we all have free will. But the question is, do we have free will? Can we choose? Is there a choice? And yeah, that's the most interesting idea. I was reading an article and I was also listening to a podcast by Sam Harris. He does awesome podcasts, you guys. He's a modern philosopher. I think he's an atheist. He's a believer of science. I haven't heard of him much, and it's just recently I've been listening to his podcast. Some of his podcasts are great, guys. I'll try and link it on the description below. Go and listen to his podcast, Sam Harris, and I'll try and link the podcast I'm talking about on the description, you guys. Anyway, coming back to free will, let me define what determinism is. The most easiest definition I can think of is when everything has a cause and we cannot choose, we have no choice, the concept of free choice is eliminated and therefore it is determined. Determinism comes from the idea that we have no choice. But determinism and free will, I know it's a very controversial topic, guys. I'm not going to take it through spiritual or faith or anything like that. I want to look at the whole concept in a scientific, philosophical and psychological perspective here. I'm not talking about faith, I'm not talking about spiritual beliefs or anything like that, guys. I'm just strictly talking about the philosophical ideas, ideologies, and also the scientific understanding of determinism and free will. We all have some choices, come on, no matter what it is. Even I know it, everyone knows we all have choices. But determinism says that, look, whatever choice you have must be caused by something. Whatever event that happens has a cause, and therefore that cause has determined that event happening. No matter what it is, that lunch you had, whatever it is, because it's been caused, therefore you had no choice. The idea of choice is eliminated, guys, because it's been caused by something. Think about anything in the world, everything has a cause. That's what we know. Alright, I mean, let's take randomness out. If you just saw a ball flying across the air, you know it's come from something. Something must have hit it. Someone must have threw the ball up in the air. So therefore that's been caused. It's been determined. Whether or not, you know, the person could have chosen not to do it or whether to do it, we'll come back to that. But I'm saying nearly everything does have a cause, you guys. So therefore determinism says that there's no choice and therefore it's caused. But free will says that, look, we do have a choice. Clearly there's a choice. You know, that ball flying through the air, it could have flown any other way. Whoever threw the ball or whoever kicked the ball up in the air had the choice of whether to do it or not to do it, guys. The question is, can free will and determinism, can they exist at the same time? Most people do believe in some sort of things are really determined. For example, genes and genetics. There are some diseases out there, some, you know, genetic problems, some genetic issues out there that is genetically passed on, and it's like most of the times 100%, and therefore you have no sort of choice. There's no sort of ways to eliminate it in your life. You're determined to have that disease. Not all diseases, but there are some that are very genetically prone to have. But also there are other cases where we can choose what we want to do. We can choose where we want to go. For example, if you want to go out a day, if you want to stay at home, if you want to go out, you chose that. You had two choices. You could have stayed at home or you could have went out. So why can't they both exist at the same time? Because look, if we really rationally think about this, they both can't exist at the same time, because one says that free will is where we have options. We have options to make events happen, such as going out or staying in. But the other says there is no option and we are determined. Whether we stay in, that has been determined and it has been caused by something else. The best example I can think of right now is my shirt. The shirt I'm wearing right now, I clearly chose this, right? I mean, in my head, look, I clearly chose this and nothing has caused it. No matter what it is, I had other options, right? I have a blue color shirt, I have any other color, I could have long sleeve, short sleeve. Yeah, I clearly chose this. I had a free choice. But here's where determinism comes in. Listen to this, guys, this is wicked. Determinism says that, look, yeah, the idea of free will is in our head just to make us believe that we have free will. But realistically, if we really closely have a deeper look, we really didn't have that free will. Me choosing this shirt has been caused. How has it been caused? It was by a mental state. And yes, we gotta agree, yes, this has come from a mental state, but clearly I had the option, right? No, this is what they say. Mental state is caused by brain state. And what is brain state, guys? Biological state. And biological meaning back to our neurochemical pathways in our brain and all our neurons and stuff like that. Back to that again, back to the simple component of reductionism, like I was talking about in my previous video. So yeah, bear with me guys, I don't want to lose you. So yeah, look, it has been caused. Also, other things must have caused it, like the weather outside. I could have wore another shirt, but I was determined to wear this shirt because yeah, it is a hot day outside today. I wanted to wear a short sleeve. In fact, it has sort of been determined for me to wear this top. The concept of free will is really debatable, guys. How much of free will do we really have? And I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not talking about faithfulness. I'm just on a normal day of every single choice you choose is actually chosen because of something else. Whatever choice you have made, guys, like you might think you have choices. Think about it. Like I might have thought before I read this that I had a choice. I wore this clearly. I could have worn any other top. Now you could tell me, look, I can go and change it. Even if I go and change it and I wore a blue shirt, it's still determined because you see how this had a cause, and I've done this video and now I want to prove, but it still comes back to a, you know, there's a chain of causal events, which means we were determined. That's what determinism says. And it is so hard to argue. It is so hard to say that, look, it was just a choice and I just chose it. I could have chosen anything else, but there was something that caused it. Your mental state. If you go all the way back, there's so many things that caused it all together that's determined me to wear this shirt, because it's a hot day outside, because of my mental state, because of what I was thinking at the moment, because it's just so much things. At the end of the day, it's biological, and it's the environment that has chosen and determined me to wear this shirt. Free choice and free will is really debatable. I hope I'm making sense to you guys, but look, it's such a simple concept, free will and determinism. We know what free will is and we know what determinism is, but it's really not that simple, guys. Do we really have free will? And yes, I sincerely believe that yes, I have free will, but philosophers, deterministic scientists, deterministic philosophers will argue that no, everything has a cause, and therefore the cause eliminates the choice in a way. Like cause and effect. It's causing you to choose something. It's causing you to watch this video to this point. You have a choice to stop this video right now, watch something else. If you're still here, clearly you're determined to watch the whole video because it's all determined. It's fate, you guys. That's what they say. There's no options there for you. It's just something I really wanted to talk about, because when I was listening to the podcast and then I read up on it, determinism and liberal free will, and what they say is everything is free will, but no, arguing free will is actually very hard. Arguing determinism is way easier because everything has a cause, and therefore you can never say that you wasn't determined, because in a way you can always find a bloody cause. Anyway, I'm just going on and on, guys, because it's such an interesting thing. Anyway guys, you know, subscribe, like and comment, you guys, it really helps. I'll keep uploading content wherever I can, you guys. Anyway, till then guys, stay tuned. I'm out, you guys.
I'm never gonna let you go, never gonna say goodbye, no.